Askreddit Asks, what's the best job for a lazy person?
Security guard. Source. Been on Reddit the whole shift edit. Now on my next night shift and so many notifications and even 2 golds. Exclamation mark. Question mark. Just to answer a few questions. It's a shipyard facility. During the day it's checking out bags and cars coming in and out. Giving temporary passes and few phone calls. Night shift, what can I say Reddit? Cable TV or Heroes 3 on my shitty old laptop. Work schedule, day shift, night shift then 2 days off.
Back in college, I was a computer lab monitor. I just had to sit in the lab. And once every hour count the number of people there. If I was opening or closing the lab, there was about 15 minutes of work for that. But otherwise I could just surf the web or do my homework.
I'm a backstage doorman at a Broadway theater. I sit around watching Netflix and Hulu and all that shit all day. If I'm feeling ambitious I'll read a book or write some stand-up material. It's a pretty sweet gig and perfect for the laziest of people.
Damn. I wanted to work as an actor on Broadway but the superior job has just been sitting there the whole time.
How much does one make doing that if you don't mind me asking? I worked as a security guard for a trucking company on the weekends. The rest of the company conveniently didn't work weekends, so I had the whole place to myself. I worked 12-hour days and walked around a small wing of the property every hour and documented anything that was out of the ordinary. Almost nothing was ever out of the ordinary. Other than that I didn't do anything. It was actually really boring because the guardhouse was outside of the Wi-Fi area, so I blew through my phone data really fast. To cure the boredom and ease my phone bill I bought a portable DVD player and watched every DVD I had.
Books. I used to go to the factory where they make giant rotating machinery for power plant generators. It would take a week or more to machine these giant discs and the machinist just sat there watching this giant computer-operated machine do all the work. If an error popped up, the machine would stop, sound an alarm on the computer, and the machinist would pick up the phone and call an engineer to come fix it. Also they didn't do any of the removal or setup. That was done by a team of engineers and transport folks. $30 per hour.
I'm an analyst. I taught myself a bunch of stuff. And spent a bunch of time automating things because I'm too lazy to do them every day per week per month.
Also you can't go to Yemen.
I'm in the process of automating a bunch of my work. But now I have to present the improvements I've made to my boss 4 stages up, so that isn't working as intended. I'm the bright side, more interesting work might be heading my way.
The person that sit on a chair in the museum. They just sit there in one of the most quiet places I've visited. And when a person stands too close to one end artwork, they just cough a little and tell you to step back.
Oh, a friend in college once had this job and he said that it was so boring there was no way he could keep at it for very long.
I just sit in the corner and look at the paintings. Mr. Bean.
Sneaky way to build extrovert skills if you are an introvert.
Lifeguard at the Olympics.
You need to be pretty lazy in the first place to get the job. So,
I don't know why anyone thinks they are useless. If a swimmer is hurt, or they pass out or something, someone qualified has to go get them. Another swimmer might not know the technique to use to carry someone safely while swimming.
I was a lifeguard for my university swimming and diving team. Not a bad gig at all.
A guy on the surveying crew has the job of watching a surveying GPS unit all day. He gets dropped off with the unit, sets it up and sits there and makes sure it doesn't get stolen and that the blue light is still on. That's all he does every day. Day after day. He thinks his job is the greatest thing ever.
You can also work your ass off surveying though. I used to do it.
I had days working construction in NYC where my job was to sit in the double-parked work truck and drive it around the block whenever a cop came by.
Find a remote data entry job and outsource it to someone who will do it for cheaper. Let them do your job and just collect the difference. Verizon programmer outsourced his URL redacted sections the two-way the 16th of January 2013 169,528,579 outsourced employee sends own job to China surfs web and just Reddit it all day. Edit. Not Verizon.
I feel like remote data entry in itself is kind of a lazy job.
A lot of IT-related office jobs at big companies involve a lot of downtime for one reason or another. Where you're just sitting around waiting for work to come in. Just be careful what you wish for. I did a 6-month work placement at a place doing QC on medical data entry. It was as riveting as it sounds, and due to poor management there were massive stretches of time like more than a solid week where there was nothing for us to do. We were literally begging for work because we were so fucking bored. If someone had asked me to start hoovering the carpets, I would have jumped at the chance. Creative IT jobs like the video games and special effects industries are major exceptions.
Anyone else scrolling through the comments looking for job opportunities?
Just seeing where I should go after I burn out being a line cook.
Removed.
Same exact boat, my man.
Toll booth worker. This was my fucking dream job. But then they started replacing toll booths with automatic license plate readers.
Sysadmin. I hate my life. I've automated 85% of my job. I'd be shocked if I worked more than 4 hours on an average week. It sounds great, but fuck, it's boring sitting here surfing tomorrow's Reddit today.
Is it true that a lot of sysadmin jobs are in danger because of everything going to the cloud?
My job. I'm basically ignored by everyone and wasting all my day on Reddit. I'm starting to wonder how long it will last.
Where do you work and how much do you get paid?
Write it out. Sounds like a dream right now. May as well be looking for a new job while you're there too.
Copy editor. You can pretty much work out of your own home and be a professional grammar Nazi. Pay is meh, but it's really not bad once you build up a client base, since you can literally sit on your ass for hours if your grasp on the language is strong. Edit. I should probably clarify. I do this part-time after I get home from my main office job. I consider it lazy, because I can sit in my own home office and dedicate what time I wish to it. And it requires no specialized equipment besides a laptop.
Get an office job. Figure out how to do it in a fraction of the time. Coast for a couple of years. When a coworker quits, tell your boss that you can add their responsibilities to yours instead of hiring a new person for a 40% raise. Figure out how to do that in a fraction of the time. Get all your work done every day. And also spend hours on Reddit. Bonus. Literally nobody else knows how to do your job. So they'll think long and hard before downsizing you. It helps if you understand Excel, or whatever your office uses, more than anybody else in the company. Closing parenthesis dot.
Ah yes, the classic do no work, spend all day on the internet making 6 figures, job that everyone on Reddit has.
I worked at a pool the summer after my senior year of high school. I wasn't a lifeguard. I just had to have the person show me the Navy card to get in the pool. And I had to check the pH levels of the pool at the end of every day. Only had to text my boss. Could be on my phone the whole day. Chilled with my then girlfriend. And ate food. Didn't even have to clock out for lunch and got an extra half an hour every day. The downside was working in the hot sun. You'd be under an umbrella, but the job could get boring. Edit. I should also add most of my friends were Navy kids whose mothers or fathers were working, so I would be able to chill with them all day too because it was their neighborhood. All in all, pretty good gig if you're lazy. Edit 2. Also, one time me and my friends were there and there was a live skunk in the pool filter. He was trying to swim, so we took a pool net and gently pushed him into it and let him down in the grass outside. He was just laying on his back panting frantically, then he jumps up and runs in the woods. I have it on film on my old iPhone. Edit 3. Wow. 6K more people like this job than I thought. Guys, you really don't want to work at a pool. LMAO.
Financial aid officer at a college, university. Those are indeed the slowest, laziest, and inept people there ever were.
Fuck them. I had to verify my FAFSA and I gave them all the paperwork and everything and they lost it and I lost my fucking federal grants and shit.
Guess you haven't met a registrar yet.
It ain't a game tester. People think it's a fun and easy job, but tracking down the precise instant a bug happens under what conditions is a painstaking, tedious and time-consuming task.
Exactly. My older brother always said, I wish I was a video game tester. I'm like, yeah, but you don't get to play the games like you're sitting in your undies in your bedroom. You gotta do a list of tasks to try to find bugs. A lot of beta testers I've seen online say it sucks. Hurricane debris cleanup crew safety monitor. This won't apply to you unless you live in a place where you are hit by hurricanes at least once a year and don't minding working 12-hour days. 7 days a week. I promise you that 10 of those 12 hours per day will be spent sitting there, doing nothing, playing games on your phone if the battery lasts long enough. I switched to crossword puzzles to try and save my battery. Keep in mind this job only exists immediately after a hurricane hits and then for about 4 to 5 months afterwards, depending on the strength of the hurricane. You will get time and a half on the final 44 hours of the week. So you essentially get paid for the work of someone who has 2 decent entry-level jobs without actually performing anywhere near that amount of work.
Automation design. Been doing it for 26 years and my laziness has advanced my career more than anything else. I hate doing anything twice. So if I have to do it once, I do it in a manner that the next time it's needed it handles itself.
What kind of automation? Can you give an example?
They always say if you need to figure out the most efficient way to do something, hire a lazy person.
Automating automation. I like it.
Cigarette testing. I couldn't imagine sitting at a table for 8 hours with a guy going full Hank Hill handing me rolled chemicals.
I don't mind a cigarette, but I can't imagine doing it for a living, especially without a beer, watching a football match.
Security guard.
Depends on the location, but yay. If you are in a nice area, your job consists of people watching and Netflix. But I would not want to be the security guard at my local CVS cause there are far too many crazy people to deal with. Friend of mine works night shift as a gate man, technically security, for a refinery. It's just as exciting as it sounds and his Netflix account has been more than worth the money.
I just quit my job because it was too boring for me. But it paid $70 grand a year and had full benefits and I spent 7 out of 8 hours a day on Reddit. Do tech support for a medical device company that makes a good product.
Truck driving. And not in a bad way. I drove a semi for a few years after the military and it is by far the best job for low-energy introverts. You get paid to do nothing other than stare out a window and listen to music, podcasts, radio. You have to get out every now and then for work. But you won't be doing any back-breaking work and it won't be longer than 10 to 15 minutes at most. Best job if you like to be alone and not really have to do anything. Plus it pays really well.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day you wonderful people.